All right, y'all, here we go. Story time. It's that time, y'all. It's that time.
How come I can't put it in two of my destinations as well?
For I don't know. That's the question that we can talk about that after we take it live right now. But I wondered about that. I asked Quan, I said, I need somebody who does YouTube. You should be able to, but I don't know how to tell you how
I
to do
can put it on my show. Is this the free version? This is the free version on StreamYard.
it. We're gonna have this conversation online. Offline.
My bad. I'm sorry. My bad.
Offline, because we are live.
I'm sorry.
He said,
Hey,
it is not the free version to answer the
you can
question.
have
No.
it. You can have it.
But it's just that she didn't know how to set it up. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Come on in over here on YouTube as well, okay? I'm gonna add you. Let me send an invite.
On YouTube. But don't go on Instagram.
Funny. Story time, y'all. Woo, it's your time.
That's me. I'm sorry. My bad.
All right, let's see how that sounds. Say something. Good evening, good evening, good evening, Mr. J.P. Justice. Say something so we can make sure we don't have no echo.
Say something so I can make sure there ain't no echo.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. You the man because you have shows on all these platforms, so you know how to do what you do. So we already know that.
I try.
You know. So listen, this is really, really what we call off the cuff because I don't have your information. I could probably Google you and see who the heck is JP Justin. So what I always do is ask everybody to really just start off by telling them who they are. But before we get started, I'd like to say welcome everybody. This is Story Time. My name is Crystal. My guest tonight is JP Justice. I hear a little echo in my ear. Do you hear it on your ear?
I don't hear anything.
Let me know if y'all hear echo anywhere. I will go ahead and send it out to a few people. I haven't had time to do that as of yet. But it seems like I hear a little verbiage.
You hear no echo now. You shouldn't hear no echo now.
Okay, cool. The sound man has spoken. You know, we are excited to hear from another individual that you may have seen and heard on these internet streets on a couple of different platforms, whether it's Instagram, YouTube. Not sure how much you do Facebook, YouTube, and all that, but I know somebody else said they didn't hear the echo. Did the echo go away?
That's Mona. She's old school. She hearing Jesus in her ears right now.
All right. Listen, tell everybody what is your first name? Because everybody call you JP. What should I call you tonight besides JP?
My name is Jameek.
Jameek.
But when I started comedy, people had such a hard time saying it, Jimique. And then white people especially, they was like Jimmy Q, Jamiquai, Jamariquai. Can I call you Jimmy? So I just decided to just say JP because that's my father's nickname. And I just wanted to honor my father. And justice is what I want to do in the business. So that's what JP came in.
Wow. So that's the meaning behind it. See, you never know. So the justice because you stand for justice.
I stand on my word.
That's excellent. So you live in New York City now, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Are you a native?
Born and raised, third generation Harlem. I'm born and raised in Harlem. Moved to the Bronx and did my teen adolescence years. Then I got cultivated on Staten Island. That's where I met my wife, and that's where things became clear to me as far as what I need to do as business. And now I'm back in the Bronx.
Wow. So let's talk about this, JP. Tell us a little bit about your background. We know you're from Harlem. I'm from Harlem to 125th Street, Wagner Projects, between 1st and 2nd Avenue. And so we know what it's like.
That's where my baby mother from, for real.
Oh, wow. So we know what it's like to come from New York City. But tell us about your childhood, siblings, small family, large family, a little bit about your history.
I can't read the comments. So listen, I'm born and raised. I'm one of 11 kids. My mother had 11 kids. So I've always been a part of a big family. I was always a mischievous dude. Like I was always that kid that the teacher had to call, grab him, get him. I wasn't like bad, like put him away bad, but I was just like, oh, this kid, this goddamn Jameek boy, this, you know what I'm saying? So I always had to have that special care. I always had to have that special care. And in my household, I was always like the little clown and the prankster.
Wow. So the bad kid in the classroom, was you the class clown, JP?
Oh my God, listen to me. You did not want to be, especially like in my high school, in my high school years, you did not want to be in my class. Because boy, out of the whole school, it was just like a few of us that really knew how to snap. And I was one of them.
So you were a comedian from your childhood.
I was always making people. Okay, here we go. I remember I was always making people laugh no matter what. Like I remember always being a little like prankster and clown and making people laugh. But I remember the very first time I was actually making a crowd of people laugh was on the back of the you say you from Harlem. I know you remember the BX30 bus. Remember it was the BX30 that took you over 145th. So we was on the BX30 and Friday the 13th, the one with the black kid, Dudley from Different Strokes, was on Friday the 13th. And I remember seeing the movie saying, God damn, that black kid ran. I ain't never seen nobody in no Friday the 13th run the way that black kid ran. And I remember doing a whole bit about Dudley on the back of a bus, and people, the kids was hollering. Even people like grown people that didn't even know me was just sitting there shaking their head, and I just had the whole back of the bus laughing on Dudley.
Wow. So other than wanting to be a comedian, before you graduated from high school, did you go to college, get married, do any of those things?
Now here's something that you just threw on me. I never wanted to be a comedian. You know what I wanted to be when I grew up, Crystal? I wanted to be a radio disc jockey. I remember hearing people like Chuck Leonard, 98.7 Kiss FM, and Jeff Fox, and all those guys. And I remember saying to myself, I want to talk to New York like that. I remember as a kid saying, I want to talk to New York like that. And so I always wanted to be a radio disc jockey.
What about Frankie Crocker? You wanted to be there? I go, there
all those guys. Yes. Oh yeah. Come on. That's a king pleasure. So I always wanted to be a radio disc jockey, and then later on, I wanted to be a motivational speaker because I got latched on to Les Brown as a young kid. So I never even wanted to be a comedian. So what had happened was, I don't know what year TLC came out.
Yes.
I was in college. Here we go. BMCC, 13th grade. And I was taking camera work, all that stuff. We're learning how to do cameras and all that stuff. So they had taught us how to write a storyboard. So what I had did was wrote this storyboard out for TLC's Hat to the Back. There was a song that they had called Hat to the Back. I took the bus. I packed my family up from on a bus from not a bus. Like we took a car there, but we basically bust down that way. And we went to Atlanta when Atlanta was brand new and people was just starting to move to Atlanta. And I took my storyboards to LaFace Records, hoping that they would see it and I would get picked. Nothing ever happened, but that's where I wanted to be. And then somebody said to me, yo, man, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Right.
Yo, you always making people laugh. Why don't you do comedy? My mother-in-law at the time, because it's my second wife. I'm on my second wife. My first wife, her mother was like, hey, I'll pay for this comedy class. She gave me the money. I went to the comedy class and I started doing comedy in white rooms. So in like 89, 90, I was doing white rooms. And I'm still in BMCC. And then all of a sudden, down in the lunchroom, there was a comedy show going on. And I said, let me go see what these comics look like. So I went down there and I saw all these black comics, Sabrina Lamb, GQ, JB Smooth, Face Man. And they were speaking how I speak. Like they weren't speaking that white, when I just came from Chicago and boy, my arms are tired. They wasn't doing that comedy. They was doing it like how we do it. And I was so fascinated. I said, hey, yo, where are you guys at? They was like, yo, the Uptown Comedy Club. And thus began my career in comedy.
Now the sound got real low for me. Did it get low for you? Can you hear me okay?
I hear you fine.
Okay, everybody in the comments, let me know if you can hear me and him, because it just got kind of low. So that's good. So you started doing comedy rooms. For those people who are new to the comedy game, can you tell them how important is that? How important is it to get yourself out there, to go in these rooms, to go to these events in your city, to be seen on the stage and get, I guess, practice or exposure?
Well, I always tell people, because, you know, I teach comedy. What I tell people all the time is that you want to be a local hero first, then a statewide hero, then a national hero, then a worldwide hero. So you got to get your hometown to root for you. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important for you to be in these. I know this now because I'm 30 something years in the comedy industry, but back then I thought I needed to be on every stage. The thing is, you always, there's so many things that you can be working out, and as a young comic, you're not really working out jokes. You're working out confidence, stage technique, microphone techniques. You're working on so many different things other than just stand up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you need to be in those rooms. Are you okay over there?
Yeah, I'm trying to get the sound right, because the sound, it's like I lost audio on my side. I don't hear you like I was hearing you before. So I want to make sure my devices have the sound. That's what's tripping me out, because it's like the sound is low. So for playback purposes, I just want to make sure you know how that is, because that could affect that, you know. So I remember once being on a live and hearing you talk about how you got your start. So you did want to be a comedian. You were told to take a comedy class. You started doing the rooms. So when did the light bulb go off? When did you say, man, I could do this?
I was very fortunate that within a year's time of me doing comedy, I was on tour. Now, I know a lot of my young comedy years had nothing to do with if I was funny. I knew it had to do with how I looked. I was tall, light-skinned, girls loved me. They would put me with all of the little heartthrobs at the time. I would go out with Flex. I would go out with these guys. I would go out with the guys that the ladies, like the girls, sued for. So I was hosting, emceeing these shows. So I knew in the beginning part of my career, they had me on TV shows because I was tall, thin, I spoke articulately. You know, that's what I used to always hear. He speaks great. He doesn't even sound like he's from New York. You know, I used to hear this all the time. So I know that the beginning part of my career was about that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm here. Don't worry. I'm here. I know you don't see me for a minute. I'm fixing something on this device over here. Okay, I'm back. Mm-hmm. So who was your inspiration?
You see, my inspiration is, it's only because I'm a fan of the art, that my inspirations aren't just what people think. Like for me, Jack Daniels was my big fan. I mean, one of my big inspirations, and a lot of people even know Jack Daniels. You know what I'm saying?
So now I hear the echo again. I don't know what's happening here with this sound thing. The sound thing is really bothering me, because it's not right. Something is off here. So I need to ask this. You are doing comedy now. I see the flyers. I see that you're out there. You got some things coming up in New York City. You're getting out there now, so you're starting to feel it. You're in the midst of it right now. What is your goal? What do you want to achieve now? Now that you're out there and you're back in it, what do you want to achieve now?
Let me ask you. You said you're back in it. You think I've been gone?
Say that again. Hold on. This is really tripping me out. Hold on.
Test one.
Hey, to y'all coming in here, bear with me. I'm trying to get this technical stuff right. Turn your volume up a little bit for a minute. I want to see something. This is crazy. That's the thing about when you do anything, you know, technical is always going to be an issue. Say something.
That's 1 2 1 2.
That's a comedy. That's a comedian for you. He'll repeat what you tell him to say. Nothing else but exactly what you tell him.
No, here we go. 1 2 1 2 test 1 2. Can you hear me? Is this clear?
I can hear you. How does he sound in the audience? Can you tell me what he sounds like to you guys?
I can hear a reverb, like I hear me echoing.
Oh God! What I may have to do is reset this thing because I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened over here.
Your life.
Whatever
you did just now.
What are you doing
now? Because now you got the full echo.
Yeah. I'm not worried about over here. I need to. Sometimes you got to go out and come back in. Give me just a minute.
What up, Mo?
If you are over here on YouTube, meet us over here on IG because I'm trying to figure this out and get this thing set up here. I don't know what's happening. In the comments on Instagram, could you tell us how both of us sound, please, so I can know how we sound to you? Because I know what it sounds like to me.
Hey, Mo.
Do you hear me okay?
How you hear her?
Okay, but
you hear reverb? Who has that?
It's crazy. Wow. I may have to reset this IG.
This means I'm coming out of wanting, your main computer, right? You can hear me
through your main computer.
Yes, I hear you. I hear you from two different places. She said my sound is perfect, so I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna go with it. I'm just gonna go with the flow. Somebody said they don't hear echo. Moet said she doesn't hear echo at all, and it's good.
Okay.
But on my end, it's awkward. It's different. It's not like it normally is, for sure. All right. So let's go back to what we said. JP, so you said that in the midst of doing comedy, your mission is justice. Talk about that for a minute, because a lot of people may not realize that unless they're your followers. What do you want to do when it comes to justice?
This business is full of smoke and mirrors. Is built on so much time. Well, when you come and deal with me, you know that I'm going to be the man that I stand here, and I'm going to stand on my word. So I don't get a lot of people dealing with me because I'm not going to deal with the BS. So I'm straightforward. Sometimes I don't have no chase. I'm straight up. So people don't know how to deal with me, but people who know me know that JP is real dude. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not.
JP, have you ever thought about running for office?
No. I don't care. I don't care.
What about being a police officer?
Hell no.
So never from neither one of those angles.
No.
You're just going to take a stand and be an advocate out here in these streets when it comes to certain issues.
Yeah. I don't go for the short hair. I want what I want, and I want mine fair. I don't want to get nothing extra, but I want mine fair. And when working with me, it's going to be a fair situation, or I don't want to do it. I've been known to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Wow. So that's interesting, because I didn't really know that about you. What about acting? You ever thought about doing any type of acting?
Yeah. But it's so funny when they put comments in something, they think we're supposed to be this red nose, slapstick. So they always put me in that goofy little role, and I'm like, no, bro, that's not me at all. Not your little ball. People have their wrong conception about comedy. People think that comedy is clowns. They're not clowns.
Okay, do me a favor. Keep talking a minute. I gotta go get my speaker because this sound thing is messing me up. I'll be right back. Give me a minute. This is crazy.
Just let me know about myself. How you doing? Hey, brother Earl, I'm going to swing by this spot when this is done. So, expect me to
swing to your spot.
What up, Mo?
What?
Tonight is a no holds bar. I told her whatever she
asks,
I'm going to give her
straight up answers.
So
even in the text,
you feel like saying
something, ask a question.
So JP, you're a family man as well. Talk to me about what it's like to be on the road, to be doing all these comedy shows, and how important is it to get your family to buy into the vision?
They don't buy the vision.
You know what I'm saying? So there's no drama when you're staying out late nights, you're meeting all these women coming up to you. There has to be an agreement, correct?
No, there's no agreement. I have a fabulous, outstanding wife. My first two daughters are my younger. My last two daughters with my wife that I have now has been such a great experience. Both being a father and being a husband. The wife met me as a comic, and she expects nothing short of me into the comic. She actually thinks that I'm selling myself short as a comic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people run into that problem. They run into that problem with jealousy, with envy, and things like that. Now let's talk about that. It's a dog-eat-dog world out here in a lot of industries, and comedy is no different. In 2023, do you feel as though it's a lot of support out here amongst comedians, or is it more like cutthroat?
It's always a competition of genre. I'm looking at a lot of teams come up, but one person makes it. So my question is, what happens to the team? You know, back in the days, you would see a team come up, Keenan, then you would see Robin Harris, Robert Townsend, what's his name that passed away? The guy that passed away. John Witherspoon. You would see everybody else coming up, but I don't see other people coming up in these teams. So what happens is like a lot of people start, and then one person finish.
Wow. Teamwork. I never heard anybody mention teamwork in the comedy industry. That's interesting.
This is a networking business. You have to be able to network. I tell people all the time, I tell young comics all the time, that's more than 50% of this business. Network. You got to be in those circles and rub those elbows. You got to see life for people to want to work with.
That is correct. Hey, Diggs, I see you in the room. Hey, to all those coming in. So networking, let's talk about that. Do you go outside of New York City and doing your comedy, or are you more or less like a local area comedian?
You really don't know. Girl, I'm good. I'm on my third passport.
Excellent.
I'm on my third passport. I go wherever the money is. You hear me?
Okay, so let's talk about that. Where have you actually appeared before and done comedy globally?
Asia, meaning Japan, Korea, China, England, Germany, France, Africa, Haiti, Caribbean islands, like so many places.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So if somebody is interested in booking you right now, are you still available?
Hell yeah.
And what's the best way for them to reach you?
I'm very Google. I am JP Justice. The Gmail that I give out.
You said Google.
Look, there's a telephone number out there, 718-407-0893. Let me tell you this, people. Y'all think that's my real number. That's the number that I give out so people can contact me. You know, I had people call that number. Crystal, people call that number and be like, yeah. And I'm sitting there going, I didn't get that message until 12 days later. So yeah.
So when they call, they're gonna get you.
No, when they call, I'm gonna answer it, but I didn't put it directly to my head. So I'll see a notification and then I'll go and get it. But it don't ring on my head.
So 20 years out here, a 20-year veteran. Is that correct? Or it's been more than 20 years now?
34.
So it's 34 years now. Out of 34 years in the comedy industry, what changed from the beginning?
Well, a lot has changed. The pace of comedy, the believability of comedy. Like, people didn't believe that this was going to last, just like hip hop. But now we spawn great stars, you know, Academy Award stars. We got it all. So these young comics now, and I don't browbeat these guys. I believe in what they do. But the difference between them and us, they can see the goal line. We didn't see the goal line. We just was fighting through weeds until we get to where we want. They can clearly see the path they want to take.
Wow. And what would you like to see change? That hasn't changed yet.
I want to see people stop believing these so-called gatekeepers. There are no gatekeepers in this business. You have talent. Your talent is the gatekeeper. I hate to hear false promises. I hate to hear seniority. That's what they want to call it. You know what I'm saying? I hate to hear all that stuff. What up, Donita?
Now, JP, you also have Spotify and YouTube. So you are living your dream, so to speak, because you created your own personality out here. You didn't wait for WBLS or nobody else to allow you that opportunity. So let's talk about that. How important is it to be able to just go create your own platform?
I thought it was very important. This business wants to shame you. They want you to hide your face to let your ass shine. I got kids, and I only got kids. I got daughters, and I'm not doing nothing that I can't look at my daughters in the face and know that daddy did. So I had to create my own. I didn't want to be in competition with so many people, so I did my own. You know what I'm saying? I built my own studio. I got my own camera. I do my own editing. I do my own distribution.
Nice. So for somebody who might be interested, it's a lot of work in the background because sometimes they have to know that it's not easy. So would you say to them, you have to be committed to it. You have to want it because it is not easy. It's time consuming, but would you say it's worth it?
The one word that I say to people is you gotta be disciplined. If this is what you want, you gotta put those blinders on. And you just gotta go. You gotta believe that this is what you want to do. And nothing can stop. I mean, everything is going to jump in the way. But you gotta believe that this path is for you. I've seen so many fair weather friend comedians. You know, they're going tomorrow.
Now, let me ask you a question. You're talking through your earpiece. I wonder what it sounds like on my end. I'm winging it, but on my end, the sound is really low. And I want to know what it would sound like if we took that out, because sometimes when people pull that out, it changes. I don't know what it is on this side, but it's definitely unique. I'm going through it, but I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to hear this on my side.
Through Instagram, I'm talking straight
to the camera or device.
But on your YouTube page, I'm talking to him.
Right. You're speaking there. And I believe that what's happening is on your end, it may be very clear. What I'm hoping is that on my end it is, because from where I'm sitting, it doesn't sound like it is. But we're gonna find out later when I listen to it, and I'll know. So who do you I don't want to say who do you want to be like, because everybody, they set themselves apart, but who is it that when you decided you were going to start to do this radio thing that you said you wanted to be like? Or who was it that you kind of learned from?
Fat Man Scoop.
Fat Man Scoop. Have you ever been in his presence?
Hell yeah, that's my guy. We go to the same barber. Denny Mo. Shout out to Denny Mo.
And so you've had a conversation with him. And what are some of the things that they have said to you that has stood out with you and helped you along the way?
Well, I used to work in radio. I used to freelance, and used to have me go from here to Philly and fill in for people for a week or whatever the case may be. So I worked with Isaac Hayes on 98.7 Kiss FM. I worked with Mike Shannon. So I know some of the runs of radio. So when I speak to those guys, I just want to like the day-to-day duties. You know, they tell me about the day-to-day duties. I still love it. To me, I'm like, yeah, that's it.
That's excellent. Excellent. Now, that's good that you could say that you've actually been in the midst of a lot of people who are already established. There's some people out here watching that have never done that, and they may not know how to approach individuals. What would you tell them in regards to how to approach someone if they wanted to go get them to mentor them or just kind of get some advice from anyone?
With some baby booty. I'm sorry.
You're a comedian. That's expected.
Be yourself. When you're in the circles with these guys, be yourself. You know, closed mouths don't get fed. So always speak your dreams out loud. You put it in the universe. But be yourself, so that this way they know who they're getting.
And that's important, because if you don't be yourself, then they're going to be looking for somebody else, because you're going to go there with the representative, and that's not cool either. Now, what is one of the biggest lessons that you've learned in these last 34 years?
There's no loyalty. There's no loyalty in this game. People are with you on the journey until it's their time to get off. And you can't be soft to that. You have to understand that's the business. Integrity is how you move. So when people come and go, you're not hurt.
And keep your feelings out of it, right? Because it's a business.
That's it's hard to say that, because artists are driven by their emotions and feelings. So I'm not telling you to knock off your feelings, but put your feelings in a jar, in control, put them under control. You know, I tell my people all the time, don't look for me to be that emotional dude. I'm not emotional with everybody. I'm emotional with my inner circle. You know what I'm saying? The people outside that inner circle, you get to deal with this. That doesn't mean you're not empathetic or sympathize, but you ain't gonna get me woke.
But you know what? That's most men for you. Men are like that. Women are more sensitive. So, out here, women are rising up, though. Women are giving y'all a run for your money. Do you agree that the women have definitely come a long way in the comedy industry? Oh, are you a hater?
No, not at all. See, no, I'm not a hater. I don't like the way some of them do. Women think to come up in the game like a man, they gotta be like a man. And what we're losing is that feminine element. So sometimes when I see women doing it like a dude, I don't support that. I mean, money, but the element that's missing is the woman. So I'm not hating at all. I'm such an advocate for, you know how many times women stay in my room, I go and get their money from the promoter, I pick them up from the club when they drunk, they call me late night when they're scared, and I'll come and get them, you know, all the time. I'm very much.
Wow. Well, that's good. So you the big brother for the lady. Let me ask you this, JP. In the last year or so, there was a lot of controversy about the people and what things should be subject to comedians to address from the stage? You know, should certain things be off limits when it comes to how people make jokes about situations? What's your take on that? Do you feel like when you step in that club or wherever the comedy show is, that you should not be offended because it's fair game?
This is the uncommon opinion
when I say this.
Comics think that just because you're a comedian, you have a blank check to say whatever you want. I'm not telling you you don't have freedom of speech, but what I am saying is there's repercussions to what you say. I don't believe comedians should be shackled, but I think comedians need to be artistic when they speak about it. One of the things that I so wholeheartedly believe in is if a comic knocks something down, pick it up. Pick it back up.
Yes.
You know, it's not for you to stomp through, because now what about that person? You know what I'm saying? One of the best case examples is Marlon Wayne's latest special. He knocked it down and picked it back up and put it back up with glory and respect.
Respect is good.
Because I claim.
So JP, there's a couple of comedians that we lost. We lost a lot of comedians in the last year or two. Which one of those that we lost out of all of them really stood out to you, and you felt like really is going to be missed in this comedy industry?
I don't mourn death. And that's one thing. If you ever see online somebody die, you'd be hard pressed to see me in those comments. I don't even like to hang around the energy of death. People come and go when they're supposed to. I don't want anybody talking over my life. Death to me isn't something that we should be sitting here going. So who was here? Hold on, hold on.
Wow.
So that's how I feel about that.
That's interesting. So while you are out here, what do you want people to say about JP? We know that everybody has a purpose. So what is the purpose of JP Justice other than, the justice piece? What do you want to be said when you stop comedy and they see you, or they see your children, or they see your wife? What do you want them to say?
People don't like me. You know why people don't like me? Because you can't say what you want to. You can't just blurt out at the side of your mouth and think that I'm just like that. But people who know love me because they know they got a solid man. If I say I got your back, I got your back. Take that to the bank. If I think you're wrong, I'm gonna pull your coat. I'm not in front of everybody. I'm gonna give you a call. Hey, do you want to think about this? You know what I'm saying? So I am the true definition of what a man is in this business.
And that's what others will say as well, that know you.
People that know me, yeah.
So, it's sad because a lot of times people don't know an individual. That's why I like to do story time, because it gives people opportunity to find out about people and you learn things. So what's something that people don't know about you? Like, what's something that you love to do when you're not on the radio and you're not doing comedy?
Only my real day one, my back in the day people know that I've been in here singing my ass. I can say, but I'm so.
Oh, you can blow?
Now, whoa! Hey, you can't go around saying that. Yo, what are you talking about? Pause. I don't like cutting in other people's genre if I'm not going to do it to my best of my ability, because I don't want to disrespect. So do I know how to sing? I get it in with my wife in here. I sing in her ear. I sing around the kids. I sing in the room. But if you ask me, hey, let's go outside and sing. That's not what I do. I'm not going to disrespect it like that. You know what I'm
saying? So, JP, where'd you get that start at? In the church choir?
Church choir? No, just listen to radio. You know, mimicking what I heard on radio. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So, who's your favorite artist?
Musically or like all around? Man, right now, I'm so feeling. Stevie Wonder.
Have you seen him in person?
Yeah. I don't know if you think is he still right now? Which one is it?
Stevie Wonder is amazing.
But I'm saying, is he a married man or is he single?
Huh? Single?
Is he married or is he single?
Stevie is married, I want to say, with children.
All right, so here we go.
Is he still married? That's a good question.
So listen to this. So one day, I'm with this young lady. You know, we and I grow up. This is when beepers, cell phones were really popular. So she gets this beep, and she goes, "Oh my God, I gotta call. I'm gonna make this call." I said, "No." She said, "It's Stevie." I said, "Stevie who?" She said, "Stevie Wonder." It was Stevie Wonder was creeping with this young lady. I said, "You doing?" She said, "Yeah, he left a message on my machine." So she played the machine and let me hear Stevie call her. I just wanted to let you know I'm in town and I want to get together with you. And I was sitting there going, "Holy shit, this woman is banging Stevie Wonder."
Wow. Now, what about female artists?
I'm a big fan of. I like Janet. I like people that do it. I like Phyllis Hyman. I like. Man, I cried with Rochelle for it. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of art.
Wow. Now, New York is the hip hop industry. You know, who's your favorite hip hop artist that came out of New York City?
KRS-One.
Oh boy.
Without a doubt, he's on my bucket list to meet. He was the reason why I wrote the book because I remember his book. And I was like, "Oh, I want to write my book," and I wrote a book, and I fashioned it after his first book.
Okay, let's talk about your book. What's the name of the book, and where can people get it?
The book is called Breaking Down the Elements of Urban Stand-Up Comedy.
Nice.
You can order it from me online, and I can get it. But I usually sell it when I'm in the shows. It teaches you the basic techniques of stand-up.
Wow. So when did you decide to write a book?
2011. It came out 2012, and it debuted number 9 in the top 10 bestsellers.
So you wrote it yourself, self-published?
Yeah.
Did everything by yourself. So you do everything by yourself. You seem to be a person that you make your mind up and you just make it happen. Mm-hmm. Not everybody can do that. So if there's an individual who's watching this to come back and does the replay and they go, "Man, I need to contact this JP Justice because he may be able to help me." Are you available to mentor others?
No. You know, I help, but I don't want the responsibility of having to help be around me. Like I said, ask me questions, but I don't want to say at Tuesday at 9:00 or this weekend I'm with you. That becomes a responsibility. But if you're around me and you're asking me questions, I'm damn sure going to give you the answers. Because if I don't say it that way, people would think I'm babysitting their careers. And I have no interest in your career, but I want to see you make it. But don't put the responsibility of what I've learned and I'm not give it to you No, you must seek it. So if I'm around you, and you're around me, ask away.
Wow. So let's help him out a little bit. If you had to give him 5 things to make sure you do and 5 things to make sure you don't do, what would they be?
5 things to do. Evolve. Don't be afraid to evolve. Things are constantly changing around you, both in the industry and in your life. Evolve. Don't be afraid. You must smell the roses. These are the things that inspire you to get into your art form. But if you stop smelling the roses, then what's inspiring you to move on? You know what I mean? Handle your business. Business is first. Even one time you have business. Handle your business. It doesn't always be financial. This one thing I want to tell you. It doesn't always be financial. Someone wants you to be on the show. Well, it's your responsibility. Make sure they have your correct pictures, the spelling of your name, your own their flyers and promotions. You're promoting the show. These things that you got to do. You know what I'm saying? So handle your business. Don't spread yourself too thin. If you can't do it, there's power and strength and respect in saying no. I can't. I'm sorry, I can't do that. Or if you ask that guy, he knows how to do it better. Or I got it from this guy, go ask him. But you shouldn't burden yourself. You know, we will burden ourselves with so many other people's responsibility that once it's all done, you don't know how to move. And it's okay to say I can't, or not right now, or even no. You know what I'm saying? Once comics realized I had cameras and I knew how to edit and all that kind of stuff, then comics was calling me, asking me to film their work, edit their work. My cat now. I hate my cats. And then one particular comic even had the nerve to say to me, I don't want to put you in the skit, but I just want you to film it. You know what I'm saying? So know your worth. One of the things that I'm going through right now is that I'm getting everybody calling me thinking that I work for them with no pennies. I work for pennies when I want to. But when you ask me, you need to know you're getting a great comedian. And I don't cost $2. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Now, out of all the things you said, one of the things that I think is most important, all of them are important, but one of the things you said that people need to understand is when you said handle your business, that it is a business. A lot of people don't understand the business side of it, and they don't do their research to make sure that they check out things. They go to the point of naming themselves, setting up a structure. Did you structure your business, JP?
My wife. Let me tell you, man. I would be such a loose cannon out here if it wasn't for Sophia.
Shout out to your wife. Shout out to that. Making sure somebody wrote a lot here. And we won't read that right now. So that's 5 things you say they should do.
What do you say?
Now, what's 5 things they should not? And this is not only in the comedy. This is if you are aspiring to write a book, start a radio podcast, be a radio announcer, be a comedian, just want to follow your dream. So this is the person who has done it, traveled the world on his 3rd passport. So he's done some things. So this is why we're asking him. So what's 5 things that you have learned over the last 34 years that you would tell people to make sure they do not do?
Shut your mouth. Stop telling the world your business. There's people out here praying on the fact that you gave them the complete lead, and then they will cut you out. And you'd be surprised how that person would be the man on your right hand. So talk to your inner circle. Express to your team. Express to your family. But all this getting on the internet, when you hear me write things on the internet, I never cross the T's and dot the I's. I just put out something common so people can think. And then you know how much texting and emailing I get, because now those people want to know. Those that want to know will ask. You know what I'm saying?
Before you go on, so you said shut your mouth, don't tell your business. In 2023, everybody's telling everything. Everything is about visibility. It's about going viral. It's about getting views. It's about getting comments.
Smoke and mirrors. Yo, there's so many egos out there that you will step on. Let me tell you a little something about me. And you know, because you hear about me on these IG streets. I've stepped on so many people's frail little egos. I've stepped on so many people's emotional, and I did it by accident, but I'm not apologetic. We got friends in common that talk crazy about me. They think I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But you know what that is? That's your frail ego, because I don't give two fucks. So you can't give everything to this social media. You can't. Some of the things that you do, you got to move quiet. I talk a lot, but you don't have all the pieces. You know what I'm saying? You don't have all the pieces.
It's not like you have to prove anything. People think they have to prove something.
And you want to know something? That's the part that they don't like about me. I ask people all the time. You know, me and my boy just got into an argument because he said to me, he said something. He said, "I'm sorry if I got you mad." I said, "Bro, there's no way you got me mad. I think about the source." And I laughed. Yo, when I look at a lot of people, you have no idea where I've been in my life and what I've done in my life and how I've made your life a little bit easier. So I don't even think about what you say sometimes.
Wow. What's something else that you would tell them not to do that you did, but if you knew now what you knew then, you most definitely would not have done it?
Especially to the guys. Keep dick in your hands. Yo, I'm going to keep it 100. Sex in this industry is common. What up, PJ? Sex in this business is common. It's not linked to emotion. It's not linked to feelings. It's linked to stats. But behind it is guilt, regret. I sometimes think about my past, and I don't feel bad about what I did, but I'm like, I could have made better choices. I could have made better choices. Keep your dick in your pants. Ladies, pussy ain't power. Relax. You'd be surprised how much come a dime a dozen. If there's 7 of you don't want one, what's the value of it?
Wow. Well, let me ask you this. After traveling around the world like you have done globally, what next?
You know, I'm 52 years old. I've done everything I want to do. I got kids in great colleges. It's whatever I want to do now. It's whatever I want to do. And that's what the world needs to understand. I'm not moving according to how you think I should be because I need to get this show. Or I'm moving like this because I need to have that. Or I need to suck up to this dude because he got this to give me this. Yo, I'm going to do whatever I want to do.
And for you and your family.
And for me. Right.
So in other words, society is not going to run you. Society is not going to move you and make you want to do something to keep up with anything that's going on in the culture, anything that's going on in the industry. It doesn't matter.
Look at all these guys right now telling all these, when I was with Buffy, they hurt me. And when I was with this, I don't have none of those stories. Because I'm going to do what I want to do. So.
And do you pass this on to your children? To have this individuality, to be able to be different, to do what you want to do for you, and to not let nobody dim your light. Is this what you pass on to your children as well?
Can I be honest? Three of my daughters. One of them just started in business
because you can't tell.
She's going to
do what she want to do.
Another one is so focused in what she wants to do is that she lives with a wall around her, and it doesn't matter what happens. She's going to do what she wants to do. She's going to get there. And another one is so strong in what she believes in, how she talks to you. So yeah, they have yeah. And there's one that's just out there. She's finding herself.
Ooh, I know you're happy because in this world right now, for any parent, they want to know their child can stand alone.
Yeah. Oh, but listen, I got 4 daughters. I don't have no sons. I teach those girls to move as a unit. I know you're individuals, and I know 2 of them got their own mothers, and these two, she got her. I have three mothers of 4 children. So this one got her mother, this one has her mother, and these 2 have their mother. But you are all my daughter, and you will move as a unit. And that's one thing I do.
Wow.
Because they're
all girls.
So JP, tell the people when you go on air, because you have your own programs and your own radio shows airing on different platforms. Tell the people what those are and when they air.
I don't really have no set time right now. Even though starting May 1st, Unfiltered Talk Therapy will be back at Mondays between 7 and 9. So that will be something that you'll definitely see. Let me say that again. Unfiltered Talk Therapy. Unchained Conversation. Me and Breeze, Alyssa, Mona, and myself. So every Monday at 7 to 9 Eastern Standard.
Unfiltered. Get ready.
Yeah. You think I talk like this? I got 3 others that talk just like me. So.
And if they want to reach out to you, tell them again for those who might come after you mention it, the best way to reach you to either book you or either, I'm going to say to book you, because right now they're going to book you, or even if they want to get the book and they have questions, what's the best way to reach out to you?
All of my social media handles is JP Justice Labs. Doesn't make a difference what social media platform you go to. IG, Facebook, YouTube. It's all JP Justice Labs. Hey, let me say this because he just came in the room. One of my inspirations on wanting to be in radio is my man Justin right here. He's a young comic, but he was holding down LaGuardia Radio. And every day that he would come on, I would be like, yo, he got my job. And I would call him, like, God damn it, he got my job. So he definitely inspired me. He's a young comic, but he inspired me. So shout out to Justin Raymond.
And that's good. I'm glad you said that, because a lot of times people don't realize that they can be inspired by a new beginner. They can be inspired by somebody that has been out here in less time than they have.
I'm inspired by the youth all the time because they have such gumption. They don't understand that they can't do it. I can't do what? You gotta be out there. And that's so inspirational too.
That is so true, Well, I appreciate you taking time. I always like to ask my guests, because I lead with questions, is there anything that you want the people to know that I haven't asked you, that's on your heart, that you want people to know about JP Justice?
I make
a mean sweet potato pie.
They
You
ain't a
sell 'em?
I don't, but I do. Because what happens around Thanksgiving, people always go, yo, can you make me some potato pie? Can you make me some cranberry sauce? Can you make me some? I ain't cooking for everything. I cook very well.
Oh wow, what's your favorite dish? Or your best dish? What's the dish that when you coming over for the family gathering, they say, JP, we need you to make that?
All right, so I basically cook anything, but I got a cheese pie that will make people go, God damn.
So you're a dessert man.
No, I cook, but when I wanna blow you off your toes and blow you off your feet, pause. I make my pie for you, and then hook, line, and sinker, you will say, "How'd you make that? You make another pie?"
So who really do all the cooking and really have them going? Is it mom or dad? When dad cooks, are the kids ready and they sitting at the table, or it's when mom cooks? Uh-oh. You like to think it's you.
Look, watch this. I do when I cook. Okay, next question.
Yeah. But that's good. So have you can't give no credit to the wife, huh?
Oh no. Listen. People know. Let me tell you. They call me show. They call her business. There ain't no getting to me without getting to her.
Okay.
She will tell me whether or not she deals with it.
So y'all need to set up a little restaurant there in Holler.
Are you talking about food wise?
Yeah. Oh, you got her beat. Wow.
No,
wow. So
I'm only bullshit. She don't suck, but I'm the better cook. I'm the
good.
better.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. It's okay to admit that. It's okay. Because I'm sure, like you said, if it wasn't for her, you wouldn't be the man you are. So you gave her props.
Yo, let me tell you something. This is the first thing this was the hook that got me to her. A lot of things was going on. We're going to be married for 20 years, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that got me,
she said, like, I was going through a tough period. She said, it don't make a difference. It's all about family. And as long as family is together, we going to make it. And I was blown away. And I knew that this is my woman. And one of the first things that she did when we got together, before we got married, she helped me straighten out 7 years of taxes. I was so back. I wasn't paying taxes. I ain't paying taxes.
Wow. And JP, I know this because I followed you on. A lot of people may not notice about you, but you have a spiritual foundation too.
Yeah.
And that's important. I feel as though that helps a lot. It helps with guidance. It helps with just people being able to stay focused. I'm sure that you write out your vision, just like it says in the word about Habakkuk 2, to write the vision and make it plain. All the things that you've accomplished, the book, traveling around the world, starting your radio program, I'm sure you wrote these things out, didn't you?
So what do you say? Now that my kids are gone and me and my wife are empty nesters, as adults, we forget to dream. Because we've been parents, we've been doing for so many other people that we forget to dream for ourselves. So I started scrapbook.
Wow.
And in my scrapbook, I put in all the things that inspire me.
Nice.
That make me laugh. I wanted to do this online live, but sometimes it gets personal. Like, that's why I haven't opened it. Sometimes it's personal. Sometimes I'm spitting fire in there. Like, fuck this person. Or sometimes I'm putting in pictures of things that make me smile. But scrapbook.
So, do you journal?
Scrapbook. This is my way of
journaling. Okay. So, in addition to that, did you write out a plan and say, I want to be an author one day? I want to have, did you write that stuff out? So you never wrote out your vision, like you never saw yourself doing the thing that you're doing right now.
And that's why I'm half where I'm at. Because I didn't have a plan for none of this. I had a plan to be a radio DJ and a motivational speaker.
Wow. Wow. Well, JP, I want to thank you for giving me this hour to just kind of pick your brain and get in here. I know you're busy. You said you have a project coming up. I remember at first you said you couldn't do this because you had a project you were going to work on. Are you still getting ready to work on that project?
Grown folk comedy, 12-year run, 7 years in the Bronx. The BYOB, Grown Folk Comedy Saturday. Bronx, New York, at the Point Theater. YouTube, hold on. People on YouTube can see this right here. By all means, scan that, and you'll go right to my.
And so, what other shows do you have coming up that people need to know about?
Thursday nights, I'm in Queens at a club called Truth. And other than that, like when the flyers come out, I do quite a bit of churches. I do churches all the time. And when people hire, I just post their flyers.
Wow. Well, I'm so excited for you. I'm excited for everything you have going. I'm always excited to hear about people living their dreams and just being able to do it. I love the way you got the scan bar up there. That's cool, the way you did that. That's cool. I'm going to have to get with you so you can show me some of these tricks.
Oh, definitely.
Yes, you know, any closing comment that you'd like to tell the people about you overall, JP? Feel free.
I'm open. I'm open for people. You can always ask and talk with me. Don't think that I'm as standoff as you think I am. I just don't publicly spit my life. You know, this was the second time you tried to get me. And the first time I was like, I'm not with you. And then I saw you online and I saw how you handled it. And I was like, yeah, let me sit down.
Well, thank you.
I see the way other interview people. I see the way other people interview, and I don't want to leave myself open to how they interview, how they talk to people. So when I saw how you talk to other people, I was like, yeah, I can have a conversation.
Oh, I appreciate that. I just try to be authentic and just kind of come out here and give people the opportunity to tell their story, because we all have one. We all have a beginning, we all have an ending, and we all have a process that we go through. And it's not for us. The journey is not for us, people. It's for somebody else. And so we need to share it so we can inspire someone and potentially save somebody else's life just by hearing how we did what we did.
Come on now.
That's what it's all about, you know. So I want to thank you so much for taking time to be here. I really appreciate you. I definitely look forward to talking to you because I see how you just pop that on there on the screen over there on the YouTube. And you're doing some things that I aim to do. So I'm going to pick your brain a little bit for sure.
Yep.
And, people, if you're not following JP Justice, man, I mean, this guy's been doing it for a minute. Like, he can share some things with you in regards to the comedy, just traveling around the world. Let me tell you one thing before we end. You need to get with somebody who's been some places, because it's not the same when you go to different countries.
Oh,
when you go to different countries, you have to know the proper etiquette. You need to know the do's and don't. It could save your life. You know what I'm saying? You could go somewhere to another country and say the wrong thing and be locked up. Locked dead, not come home. So
listen, I was in Japan, and when I got there, they will all celebrate this brother who just came out of Japanese prison. Now, he was in the military, but he got sent to Japanese prison because he was off the base. And he took a fight, and he slapped, and he punched somebody. He punched somebody. A slap is an invitation to a fight, but when you punch somebody, it's assault. And he got locked up for a year.
Wow. Wow, see, that's a good example. So that's what I'm saying. So if you want to talk to somebody, he told you he's an open book. He told you he's not mentoring anyone. So he's not going to hold your hand, but he will answer some questions, you know. JP, I want to thank you so much, guys. Listen, we'll be back. Actually, we'll be here Thursday. We got a young man that's going to give you some tips on child support. Ooh. Child support nuggets, man, for the people who are trying to avoid child support. If you are on child support and you need some, Thursday is a special. I don't normally do story time on Thursday, but this Thursday at 8 o'clock, you might want to tune in if you know somebody on child support, or if you have some back taxes, you're trying to escape that, you might want to tune in. It's going to be JP. Peace and love to you. Thank you, my man. I appreciate you. Blessings to your family. When I'm in New York, I'll make sure I look up all of you guys that I have met that are in New York the next time I come through to see if y'all have a show. Okay. And so I can pop through the room, okay? Thank you again. I appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, JP Justice. Check him out, y'all, on all platforms. JP Justice Lab, okay? Thank you, JP.